What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video. I would say just video. Today we are going to take a look at Robocop 3 finally released, and you can still pre-order this at bigbadtoystore.com. I will put the link down below. Now, let me tell you one thing. This is one of those few items that got announced last year that I was in shock of. This and alongside Days of Future Past Wolverine. I am looking forward to this more than any release out there. That is mainly because I did have Robocop back in the day, with a chair. And I like the figure, but towards the end, I traded it in for, which I still do have up to this point, Jack Sparrow. I think DX15, so I traded it in. Probably a dumb mistake back then, but hey, you know what? Jack Sparrow is not any pushover. It's a beautiful figure as well. It was sold out back then. I was, and I was kind of getting tired of Robocop. Traded him in. Let's just say I regretted it since. Now I can redeem myself. I can actually get this without the chair. Because back then I felt like the chair was just taking over my display piece. I didn't know that 7 years after I traded that in, I would be accumulating a ton of diorama pieces on purpose. But back then, I thought it was just in the way of my display. Like, this chair could be a spot for another figure. I was wrong, and you grow from your mistakes. But now I can rectify that mistake. I still couldn't rectify the fact that I didn't buy the battle damage Robocop back then with the Alex Murphy, individual figure, because that 2-pack was on sale for a while and I never picked it up, and I'm regretting it up to this day. Now this Robocop, I didn't get the special edition where it was sold out. It has the face plate and the chest plate. I just went for the regular version. That's fine with me. There are certain aspects of Robocop back then that I didn't like. One of them was that it was advertised as diecast, but only the legs were diecast. I don't know if it's the same way now. I get it's going to be heavy, but Iron Man is pretty much all diecast, and it's pretty well. It does talk back then, which is pretty cool, but not like the New Hope Vader, where you have to undress him and all that stuff for him to talk. This one has like a magnet in the back. You flip it on and off, and it's actually a pretty neat feature. This one doesn't have that, although this one has, this backpack. I have watched Robocop 3 maybe once. I gotta rewatch it because I rewatched Robocop, the first one, multiple times. I gotta rewatch 3 before I get this. But yeah, this is one of those classic figures that if you are an 80s baby, you just kind of gotta have one, regardless of what it is. And I'm just lucky enough that Hot Toys, a high-end figure, would revisit something like Robocop years, because back then, I'm telling you, it didn't sell well. I was able to grab mine with a chair for around $290, I believe. It wasn't selling well, although that wasn't the hype of the Avengers, so he got kind of pushed to the side with nothing to, because there's nothing to complement him back then. There was an Ed 209, but it has all sorts of problems with the dome cracking and all that stuff. So it didn't help to the situation. But now I love this all one-off figures. I crave for them. They're not the best when you're displaying them because you don't know who to display them with. But nonetheless, I don't care about that. I just want to have them. I just want them to stand there, look pretty, and this one looks pretty. And another thing back then was the lack of like the purple hue on the shine of Robocop. I've seen now somebody's posted on Facebook that the one guy that posted his didn't have the purple hue. It has to hit a certain type of lighting. And I'm pretty sure, like here, it's not like on this picture that you're seeing right now. It's not that noticeable, but you do see it. You see it on the biceps, on the chest area. You can't blast him with just light. with just all white light and expect to see that. It's like washing out the figure. But I'll see it when I get it in hand. But from the pictures that I'm seeing, at least now, it looks like it is pretty consistent with the purple hue. Because back then you gotta customize it. You gotta pay someone. They're gonna, put a coating of that. I don't even know how that works, but they did that. But hopefully this time there's more diecast figure. I mean diecast on the figure, because diecast makes it, for me, it makes it heftier, and you are less scared to move it around because the joints are gonna be able to withstand a little bit of wear and tear there when you pose them around. I like this. I wish they would have included as standard back then, like the battle damage helmet, which you could swap it out and you can see his eye, and the chest piece. But I get it. I get why they went that route. I think it changes the look when you change even just the chest piece. You see that battle damage there. I love it. I love this figure, man. I cannot wait. This and like I said, Days of Future Past Wolverine, two one-off figures that I'm looking forward to. That's outside of my excitement for No Way Home. I'm zoning in on these guys. I'm not trying to look into anywhere else. I can't wait. Maybe in another 3-4 months, we'll have it here in the US. But yeah, one of my most anticipated figure, I would say, of this year. If I don't get it this year, maybe next year. I don't know. But I'm not in a hurry. People who wait, you can savor that moment. But I love the way it turned out. Back then, the middle piece was plastic, and I think it should be. It wasn't too brittle back then. The face sculpt, I don't know. Remind me, guys. Like I said, I haven't seen RoboCop 3 in ages. That is not Peter Weller, right? Like, that is not him. So if you ask me, because I remember the old RoboCop that I had, I believe that the face plate in there was pretty spot on. Peter Weller. I don't know if I can say the same word here, or maybe it's the same. Maybe it's my eyes playing tricks on me. See, this guy right here, the other one, he used like purple lights. You can tell. So you can see from the hue and the tone. But here, he used mostly yellow, to highlight that explosion on the car in the back. But no complaints whatsoever. I love this. I'm excited for this RoboCop. I gotta find a way to watch that RoboCop 3 for free. I'm not gonna pay. It should be streaming somewhere. But yeah, the pistons on the back of his shin as well. That's on his calves. That's a little kind of finicky back then too. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you like this video. Let me know in the comments, did you pre-order this? And I'll till next time.